Hello and welcome to my February review. I am the dyslexic reader, and also welcome to my channel where I talk about reading and writing with dyslexia. Before we get into my review, please don't forget, if you've seen my videos before, or you'll know that on the bottom I have a Discord channel. Please come and join us. Trying to build a nice safe space for people with dyslexia or any other sort of disabilities that make it difficult for you to read and write, but you want to get into it. You don't have to have dyslexia or any of these other issues. Please join just to give the support. It would be lovely to see people in there and chatting about reading and writing. So please check in the description below. There'll be a link to the Discord channel, and hope to see you in there. I just want to point out very quickly, sorry about my voice. I have not been well this week. I've had a really horrible cold that I've been dealing with, and I'm still very bunged up. And this is why I've left it a little bit longer to do this month's video. So I'm sorry, I'll be probably clearing my throat a few times. If you've got headphones or things, I'm really sorry if I deafen you when I cough. Anyway, so let's get on to what's happened in February. So you may have seen a post. I actually finished Malice by John Gwynne. Let's pause here for a bit and just talk about this book. This is the first book in the Faithful and the Fallen. If you've been following the channel, you know this is my first fantasy book that I'm reading in my new journey of trying to read every day. Unfortunately, I haven't read every day recently because of this cold. Also, just life has got in the way a little bit. I had a very busy week at the end of February, and then this last week just gone, being ill. I was struggling to actually look at pages and then be able to retain the information I was reading. Just because I was so muzzy headed, but I'm getting back into it and reading the book I'm on now, which I'll talk about in a second. But let's talk about Malice. I really love this book. You may already know, if you've watched some of my other videos, I wanted to start this journey into fantasy with a story that I didn't know. I do have things like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings on my shelf. I've got Harry Potter. I've got The Chronicles of Narnia on my shelf already. But I know those stories. I've seen the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings films. I have actually read many years ago, read all the Harry Potter books. So I have read those, and I've watched the films over and over again. And the Chronicles of Narnia, if you are aware from my previous videos, I grew up on those books. So I already knew those stories, so I wanted something completely fresh that I didn't know. And this is one I went with. This was bought for me for Christmas by my lovely wife. And I had thoroughly enjoyed it. The way that characters are built, the way that the book is written in a very cinematic kind of feel, where you jump into between what's going on around the world of the Badlands, the Banished Lands, sorry, and the way that just little bits of information is drip fed as you read through the book about the world, about the characters. It really opened my eyes up of writing sort of these big type of books, these long stories. This is a book 1 of 4, and the ending, the last, I'd say 60 pages, you may know from some of my other videos, 10 pages a day is a good day for me. So to read 60 pages in almost 2 days, I just could not put it down. I had to keep going. I had to see how the book ended. And then when I got to the end of the book, I then instantly had to pick up the next book to read. And it was just the first couple of paragraphs just to see. And if I remember rightly, so the next book is Valor. So Valor is the book I'm reading at the moment. I'm not very far into it at the moment. I'll just check. I am only about 64 fourth pages. The next page I'll be reading. The start of this book, if I can find the first one. Yeah, the start of this book talks about completely different characters, a different character's view. So I was like, oh, I want to get to find out where these other characters. There's I don't want to give anything away, but there's stuff I needed to know what happened. Wasn't aware that it's left with some cliffhangers. And he starts the next book with not addressing any of those cliffhangers and bringing in a new character's point of view, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It was just like, oh, I need to know what happened to so-and-so and what happened to this person. But what I found was very interesting was that John put at the beginning of the book a cast of characters just talking about different people. The only thing I would say in there is that I did start reading it and warning. There was one character I just looked at very quickly. I won't read it out now. One character I looked at very quickly before I started reading. It felt like it gave a little bit of a spoiler away. So that's just something I've got in the back of my mind. For my writing stuff, which I'll talk about a bit later on in the video. Really enjoyed Malice. As I say, I couldn't put the book down doing the ending. Sorry, could not get my words out. Really enjoyed it. I did rate it on Goodreads as a 5-star. I thought about a 4-star, but because there were a few things in there, some words and names that I struggled to read, but then I thought that's very subjective. I just thought it was a really good book, really enjoyed it, and I would recommend this one to anyone to read. And I'm now currently reading Valor, which I'll be really getting into as of today. Now my cold has started to subside a bit and I can actually look at the pages. I was finding when I looked at the pages, I was reading, but I wasn't taking in what I was reading, so I just had to stop for a bit, have a break. So yeah, that's my reading. Writing wise, again, the last 2 weeks has not been much writing going on, but I have just reached the 20,000 word mark of what I'm writing. So from my calculations, I'm still kind of on schedule to be able to finish the first draft by the end of this year, which will be a really big achievement for me. I'll be getting back to writing today and trying to write every day over the next few months to try and catch up with the last couple of weeks that I've had to miss due to very busy life and illness. I think even in just those 20,000 words, my writing has changed so much from that first chapter that I started writing, which I have had to go back and do a slight rewrite. Not the whole chapter, it was just the first paragraph. I decided I didn't like that first paragraph. So I went back and did rewrite that. And I've had a bit of a moment in the last couple of weeks where I've had decided, or I'm considering my idea for the end of the first book and how the story goes. I'm now starting to consider something slightly different avenue. I'm not sure whether it is going to work yet. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm starting to think that I'm going to shift. Luckily, it doesn't mean any rewrites because I haven't. Excuse me, sorry. I haven't got to that part where I'm kind of introducing a certain character arc that I'm considering not using and changing their arc and having a different style, only because of coming up with some other ideas I kind of like better as I'm writing and I'm reading. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm sure there'll be more decisions that change as I'm writing this, but at the moment I'm around about the 20,000 word mark, which I'm happy with. Okay, let's have a look at new books that I've got on my shelf. So I did take a trip to the local hospice bookstore in the month of February, and I picked up some books. I think the chap that was there that was working recognised me from when I went just before Christmas. If you remember, I picked up a couple of Terry Pratchett books from there, and he said to me, he saw I was looking down, I was having to. For people that don't know, I'm quite tall. I'm over 6 foot, so, and this shelf for the fantasy is on the bottom row, so I had to literally get down on my hands and knees to go and look to be able to see it properly, to see what was on the shelf. And my knees aren't great, so I had to had to almost clamber my way back up again. But the gentleman said, I've got another 2 shelves out the back that we don't put out yet. There's the back stock of fantasy if you want to come and take a look. I did, and I picked up another load of books and got talking to the chap. He's also a writer himself, and he's also he works for a reading charity, and they're starting a reading club soon within my area for adults that want to get into reading. So I'm going to keep my eyes open on that. I'll give you any updates on how that goes if it's something that I do start to attend. I do plan on going over back to that shop probably the next couple of days. I'm not sure which day yet, but I'm hoping to pop over there. But no more about that. Let's talk about what I found on the shelf. Sorry, they're all on the floor at my feet, so I'll pick them up as well as I go. Picked up a couple more Terry Pratchett books. I got Dodger, and then the Winter Smith. So that's starting to build my Terry Pratchett. And these are the hardback copies, big hardback copies. There's a few bits of damages there, but I mean, when you're paying like £1 for these books, I don't care. It's more about just building up a bit of a collection, reading them, and if I want a different copy, a nicer looking copy, then maybe I'll buy them in the future. I don't know, but yeah. So that's a couple more. If I've got this right, Dodger isn't part of the Discworld. This is another story that's more set in London. I'm guessing it's more about the Artful like a take on the Artful Dodger from Oliver, if anyone knows that. Winter Smith. I'm just having a look. It does say a Discworld story, so that'll be going with my Discworld books. So I'm quite pleased to pick up a couple more of those. That's those 2. And then also I found, before I went out the back, I spotted a couple of Harry Potter books in the what people I think it's referred to as the adult binding, the adult version. So although I've got we have got all the Harry Potter books on the shelf, and I've got the Deathly Hallows in this print. The other prints are not this type. They're one of the other hardback copies that we've picked up over the years. But I really like this. I mean, well, they look really nice on the shelf like that. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes open to pick up good quality. I mean, they're a little bit scuffed, but I'm not too worried about that. So these are really hard to get hold of, from what I can tell. Well, certainly new. I don't think you can get them new anymore. If you can, let me know in the comments. But I really like this hardback black sort of cover copy. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes open for the. So I've got the last 3, and that means it's 4, isn't it? Yes. So the first 4 I need in that print. Those are the things I found before I went out the back. I then went out the back and picked up a couple more books that I've spotted on the shelf. Terry, a Good Kind, Naked Empire, which is on my reading list. I believe this is book 3. So I've got book 1. I think this is book 3 of that series of his. And for the life of me, I should have looked it up before I came down, but I can't remember what the actual series is called. Sword of Truth, I think it is. Maybe, I don't know. it said in the front about something about Telling the Truth, but yeah, I don't remember. I'm really sorry. I don't remember what the series is called, but I believe that is book 3 in that series. Now I spotted this, which has come quite highly recommended. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I believe this is book 1. Someone tell me or remind me in the comments whether this is book 1 or not. I can't see on there, and I haven't got my list open anywhere. Yeah, all right. It says in the front, the Kingkiller Chronicles Day 1. Now I know this series of books hasn't been finished, but there has been quite a bit of talk about the fact that this Patrick Rufus is very determined to finish. So I feel like I can start reading this series at some point, without having known whether it's completed or not. But yeah, so that's another one I found that on the shelf in the back of the shop. Nice, like that. And then I picked up a couple of the Terry Brooks's. Let's see if I can pronounce this right. The Shannara books. So the Sword of Shannara, which is the first one in that series, which I believe is. Yeah, the Shannara series, it says on there. But so Sword of Shannara. I read a couple of reviews on this, and it looks like a lot of people sort of slate Terry Brooks for basically copying Lord of the Rings. It'll be interesting to see if that's what the case is. So I'm kind of thinking that I possibly will read the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings before I start reading this. I may or may not. I'll see how I feel when I get down to it. But my thoughts on copying other people's work. I mean, I don't know exactly when this was published, the first published, but I mean, original ideas. There's not many original ideas out there anymore, and it's more about the way the author writes their voice, and that's more important, I believe. Or my feelings are, I've looked at a lot of things, talked to a lot of people recently, and they all say that there is no original. It's very rare to get an original idea in books now. It's more about what you tell, the story you tell with those ideas, and how you tell the story. So I'm still interested in reading it. It's on my list. The second one that I actually picked up was the Wish Song of Shannara, which is the 3rd installment. I know that because it actually says at the top. I didn't need to look that one up. So that's the 3rd one. So I got book 1. So that's 2 series now. I think I've got book 1 and book 3 of. So yeah, that will be on my reading list at some point. So I then purchased them, and as I was talking to the gentleman whilst buying them and finding out about his writing and this reading group he's trying to put together, I spotted on the shelf behind him these 2. Now I've seen these crop up time and time again on recommendations all over the place, or this series, I'd say. I don't know anything about the series really, but they were there in the shop. I don't even know which order these come in. I need to look them up. I don't think they're right on my original reading list, but I thought they were there. They're cheap. I mean, I'm picking these up for £1.50, these books, so it's a no-brainer. I've seen a load of people pick these up. At the end of the day, if I don't enjoy it or I don't think it's for me, I'll take it back and I'll donate it back to them to sell on it for a second time to get even more money. So I'm not too concerned whether I like them or not. I've just seen them pop up quite a lot of times, and quite frankly, I quite like the colours. That looks quite cool. It's quite a cool covers art. So yeah, we'll see. I can't remember if it's 4 or 5. I did look them up when I got home, but that's a couple of weeks ago now, and I don't remember much of yesterday, let alone a couple of weeks ago. So those are the books I picked up in February. There's not much else for me to say in my wrap up. So I finished my book. I finished Malice, and I'm now reading Valor. I'm about 20,000 words into my first books. My first draft of my first book that I'm writing. Originally, my idea was that would be a trilogy. It's starting to look like it might be a bit longer than a trilogy, but we'll see. Just because a new idea that I've come up with in the last few weeks that might extend it a bit more. I don't know. And then, yeah, I've gone through the more books that I've picked up. I now have probably enough books for me to read in a lifetime because it takes me a while to read them, but I'll get through them. Slowly but surely. I'm enjoying the journey that I'm on, enjoying the reading, enjoying discovering these new books. I just hope I have enough time to read everything. Other than that, please do like, subscribe the video and the channel. It'll be great to see you all here next month with my next review. And thank you for making it all the way through to the end of this video. And yeah, just keep reading, keep writing, and hopefully see you in the Discord channel. All right, see ya, bye.